The Vortex Popper and Effervescence are both weapons derived from the Xenopopper, as they both fire bubbles. However, only the Effervescence keeps the Xenopopper's liquid bullet chamber, and this chamber is hidden or omitted in the Vortex Popper sprite. Originally, there were two post-cryogen bars, Frigid bars, which were dropped by cryogen, and Cryonic bars, mined out of the snow biome. I guess this was confusing, so Frigid bars were removed. An additional trivia fact about Frigid bars is that their tooltip was cold to the touch. This was meant to be an addition to Warm to the Touch and Hot to the Touch tooltips found on Meteorite and Hellstone bars in the base game. Calamity has its own rarity system as an extension of the base game. There are 6 or 7 new base rarities. Turquoise rarity encompasses items from right after Providence to the Sentinels of the Devourer and Poltergast. Pure green is for post-Poltergast to pre-Dog. Dark blue is post-Dog but pre-Yarn items, and violet is for post-Yarn items. S-Cal tier items have the special hot pink rarity, such as Shadowspec bars and their crafts. Trade items from Update 1.5 onwards have a dark orange rarity. Of course, many items also have their own unique rarities, but we won't be going over that. In the olden days, donated items used to have a special dark red rarity. Nowadays, it just has donor or developer item in dark red or hot pink below, and the items have normal rarity designation. Terraria is presumably a portmanteau of Terrorblade and Meowmare. Despite this, it doesn't include the Meowmare in its recipe at all. Fabsol's vodka is made from ale. Ale generally has a rather low alcohol content compared to vodka, though I guess this liqueur is magical in nature, so whatever. The robes of Calamity Armor Sprite only seem to use the mantle of the robes, but the armor itself actually encompasses robes as well. Since the Crystal Crusher can destroy arena blocks, we can say that arena blocks have a pickaxe power requirement of 1000%. The flame sprites for the 4 candles sold by the Drunk Princess when in inventory and on the ground are drawn slightly differently. Illustrious knives have slightly more knives per shot than both of its predecessors. As the extra knife chances are weighted slightly differently, the illustrious knives throw a tenth of a knife more per throw on average. The Twinkler Critter at 40% bait power is referred to in the bestiary as useful bait. It is the only critter in Calamity referred to in this way. This one comes courtesy of all the comments on the Vanilla Part 6 video, and I thought it'd be fitting to put it here. Mirasama comes from Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and apparently in Metal Gear it's a misspelling or mistranslation of the Mirasama Swordsmith and Sword's name. So the two are in fact related. The spectral hammers fired by the Ponage Hammer do not resemble the modern Ponage Hammer, but actually the old sprite of the Ponage Hammer. In version 1.2.3.005, released November 30, 2017, Cryptix bars were renamed to Chaotic bars. Newer players of the mod know these Chaotic bars as Scoria bars today. In fact, a lot of stuff related to Chaotic bars are renamed, with Ataxia being renamed to Hydrothermal, Discordian Wings renamed to Hadal Mantle, and Bar of Life being renamed to Life Alloy, to name a few. On April Fool's Day, the normal status message, "The Soul's Release Stirred the Acidic Storms," which displays after Poltergast is defeated, is replaced with "A Boomer Awaits," at a 5% chance. Calamitas and Supreme Calamitas speak in the color #FFA500. This is also the same color used to display "The air is getting warmer around you" before Yarn starts his second phase. Similarly, Draydown always talks in #9BFFFF, except when he asks you to make a choice on which exomech to spawn. For more gravitas, he speaks in #D5040B instead. In Calamity 1.5.1.003, the Profane Guardians got official names outside of just Main, Rock, and Crystal, instead becoming Commander, Defender, and Healer. Despite the Seraph Tracer showing 3 wings on its sprite, the flying animation only shows 2 wings, with the middle green stripe showing on top. The same applies to Elysian Tracers, except the color appears in the right place. The Sigil of Calamitas has a missing pixel on the left side of the middle circle, leading me to eternally see the pattern on it as a question mark. I don't know if this is a thing that other people see it as well. Pretty much everything made from Meld Construct used to be based around Xerok, a primordial god in the Calamity universe. The alcohol sold by the Drunk Princess grants debuffs with a purple buff background, with the exception of the Fab debuff from Fabsol's Vodka, which is yellow. Much like the vanilla buffs or debuffs, the Titan Scale buff uses the old guide Voodoo Doll sprite to represent the player. While there is an Omega Healing Potion obtainable after Devourer of Gods, there is no Mana Potion equivalent. Instead, we are left with the Post-Moonlord Supreme Mana Potion. Calamity makes Chlorophyte bars take 4 Chlorophyte ore instead of 5 or 6 in the vanilla game, and cuts the glowing mushroom cost of Shrumite by a factor of 3, a good QOL feature in my opinion. The Devourer of Cods contains a pun in its name, obviously, and its tooltip also includes a second pun, the Eater of Shoals. Exodium clusters once generated within existing planetoids, but now generate in their own planetoids. The Aquatic Heart used to have 2 colors based on the color of the ... entity killed. I remember myself preferring the green buff. On the topic of Anahita, apparently Anahita is the name for a Zoroastrian deity of the waters, which I guess is related to the boss at hand. The color of perennial ore on the map is #C8FA64, which is a rather energetic lime green. The seafood is made from sulfurous sand, starfish, and shark fins, yet it seems to resemble some kind of sushi. Whatever sushi that is, I doubt would taste good. The Supreme Bait Tackle Box fishing station has a seriously interesting name, and while it is great, I don't know why it's called a station. And finally, the Siren-proof ear must refer to the ... mob it prevents from spawning as Anahita, not ... the chosen name for that mob. Congratulations on making it to the end. If you do enjoy this series, I'd recommend a subscription, and that's about it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.